Yes, we will wait for 2 more minutes and then we will start. Good evening, all. Good evening. I will share my screen. Is my screen visible? Okay. Thank you. We will wait for a minute and then we will start with the recap of day one. Okay. Now we will start. It's 7:32. So we will start with the recap of day one. So what we learned in day one, that first we discussed with why is improvement required. So we discussed in current scenario, in current business condition, why improvement is very, very essential. We saw the examples of big companies and hence improvement is required. Then we saw the program outline of Kaizen. Then we saw how we can trigger the improvements. What are the inputs for the improvement? So we can say that there are four golden voices of management: voice of customer, voice of business, voice of process, and voice of employees. So these golden voices are the inputs or the triggers for the improvement. So we saw this. After that, we discussed what is the purpose of any business. And the purpose of any business is 3M: make more money. That is normally the purpose of any business. And we need to support our business in that direction. So we need to contribute for the profit of our company, of our organization. Then we saw that what is the meaning of Kaizen. So Kaizen is a Japanese word made up from two words, Kai and Zen. So Kai is called as change and Zen is called as better. So the meaning of Kaizen is change for better. That is the meaning of Kaizen we saw. Then we discussed about the origin of Kaizen, the transformation of Japan, how Japanese people transformed themselves, how Japan transformed as a country. And they were more focusing on the quality circles, Kaizens like that. And they become at that time second largest economy of the world. After the World War II, when Japan was a poor country, but Japan transformed and become the second largest economy at that time in near about 1990s. Then we saw the different quotes on Kaizen. So Kaizen is everyday improvement, everybody improvement, and everywhere improvement. Then we saw the EBFC rule, the Kaizen, correct Kaizen sequence mentioned by Shingo-san, or we can say the purposes of the Kaizen: easier, better, faster, and cheaper. So easier means easiness. We need to make our jobs easy, as well as we need to keep in mind safety as well. So making our job easy should be the first priority of the Kaizen, or should be the first sequence of the Kaizen. Then better means we are focusing on the quality of our products or parts. So we are doing Kaizens in that direction, which will help to improve the quality of our parts or products. Then F stands for faster. So here we are focusing on the efficiency, how we can reduce the cycle time. So improving the productivity, improving the efficiency, reducing the cycle times. That is F. And C stands for cost reduction Kaizens. So this is the correct sequence mentioned by Shingo-san: easier, better, faster, and cheaper. After that, we saw the three requirements for embracing the Kaizen culture in any organization. And that these three requirements mentioned by Masaki Imai, who is the founder of Kaizen Institute. And he is saying that three requirements are top management commitment, second is top management commitment, and third is top management commitment. So are you clear on day one? Is a recap clear? So we saw this yesterday. Okay, thank you. Now we'll move to the, we will proceed. Also, we saw the day-to-day examples of Kaizen. That is different examples like zip and speak to be concept like that. One step less, 1 second less, one end less, say one something. Origin of Kaizen we already covered. These are the quotes on Kaizen. Very good. And these are the three most important requirements for embracing the Kaizen. Okay. Now, today we will discuss how we can identify Kaizens, and there are some approaches for the Kaizen. So either we will learn how to identify Kaizens, or we will learn the different approaches we are using for the Kaizen implementation. So we will cover today these four approaches. So first concept is called as 3D. So normally I say you should start doing Kaizens, you should start implementing Kaizens, again 3D abnormalities. So I will go to the next slide. So first approach, here I am telling you that 3D approach. I will once again repeat, 3D means difficult, danger, and dirty. Now you need to identify Kaizens in your area. So you can start with noting down the abnormalities in your area. Whether are you in working in office or shop floor, just go to your desk, go to your shop floor, and find out the abnormalities related to difficult, danger, and dirty. So first we will see difficult. Yesterday we saw that, for example, if we are finding difficulty to do a job, then our Kaizen should be to make it easy. So yesterday we saw that chair with wheels. So it is a Kaizen against difficulty, because earlier we were lifting the chair. We were the lots of effort required to move the chair from location one to location two, like that. So if I want to implement a Kaizen, I will make it easy. So the chair with wheels is an example of Kaizen against the difficulty. So first Kaizen you should always implement to make your job easy. Yesterday I also gave you example of pen with transparent body. We can easily identify the level of ink in that refill. If that body is not transparent, we need to disassemble the pen. It is not difficult, but it will take time. So task is not difficult, but it will take a time. So we can implement this Kaizen, transparent body, the speak to me concept, blue color, red color, black color. So these are the Kaizens against the difficulty. So is this clear? So first is we need to identify Kaizens against the difficulty. Just type yes if it is clear, difficulty. Okay. Now we will go to the next, that is called as danger. Is my screen visible? Okay. So the next is danger. So now we need to identify abnormalities in our area, in our offices, which leads to an accident or any health hazard. For example, in shop floor, we can put engineering controls, that is photoelectric sensors on press machine, because it is a Kaizen against the danger. So if there are abnormalities, we can provide the guard in order to prevent the finger stuck possibility. So always think in that direction. The abnormalities which leads to accident or health hazard, we need to identify that. So if there are open wires, there is a probability of electric shock like that. So after difficulty, you can focus on what are the danger abnormalities in your area, and always motivate your team, always brainstorm with your team to identify the kaizens against that danger abnormalities. So that is the second D. First D is difficult, second D is the danger, and third D is called as dirty. Dirty means abnormalities which can contaminate the floor or around machine area, our office area, spillages, leakages, overflow, etc., etc. So which make our area dirty, slippery like that. So in that case, we can identify Kaizens against the sources of contamination, that we can provide the guards to protect sensors from the metal chips, or Kaizen done to prevent coolant leakage, spillage, etc. So go to your area and just identify 3D abnormalities: difficult abnormality, danger abnormality, and dirty abnormality. Brainstorm with your team and implement the guidance against 3Ds: difficult, danger, dirty. So this is the first hint from my side to identify Kaizens in your area: difficult, danger, and dirty. So is that concept clear? Is that approach clear? Difficult, danger, dirty. So from tomorrow onwards, in your work area, in your office area, always try to find out these abnormalities. As I told you yesterday, as I am a trainer, so I need to travel a lot when I was delivering a training, particularly when in a hall, I roam around. So I use that slide changer, because every time I need not to go near to the laptop and again press the enter button. So I am using slide changer. It was very difficult to be that every time I need to go to the laptop, I will again press the enter button. So I use that slide changer. So this Kaizen I did, or this improvement is related to difficulty. Correct? So, can we proceed to the next concept? Okay. Now, the next approach to identify Kaizen is That is called as 3R. Can anyone tell me what is 3R? We have seen 3D. Now we will discuss about 3R. What is 3R? Very good. That sequence we need to change, that reduce, reuse, and recycle. So there is a 5R as well. We will discuss it later on, but normally we will discuss 3R, reduce, reuse, and recycle. So normally we know that in current scenario, we are using lots of resources and it is causing a problem to environment, to our mother earth. So I always recommend people to use a 3R approach to identify the Kaizens. First R is reduce. So first R is reduce. I don't know why it is not moving 1 minute. Okay. First R is reduce. So, for example, I have decided that I will reduce the consumption of plastics by 30%. I'm just giving an example. So earlier I was using the plastic bags. Suppose I am using 10 plastic bags per month and it is causing problem to environment. So I have decided to use the 7 bags. I am not using 7 bags. I'm just giving an example. So I am reducing the consumption. So earlier I was using 10 bags. Now I am using 7 bags like that. So I am reducing the consumption. I am reducing the energy usage. Earlier, I was using the energy usage. I have taken a target that I will reduce the energy by 10%. Electricity units, I will reduce by 10%. In our organization, we will use the daylight by installing the transport sheets. So in daytime, we need not to on our electricity or our lamps. So first R is I am focusing on reducing. So it will definitely help our Mother Earth. It will definitely help environment because we are reducing the consumption. And it is the need of today's environment. So reduce. So we need to reduce the consumption of plastics bags, energy usage like that. Then reuse. Suppose I am reusing the one-sided used papers. The papers are already used. The one-sided I am printing on another side. So I am reusing that papers. So that is also a Kaizen. We can say it as reuse. We are reusing it. Earlier we were scrapping it, but now we are reusing these papers. So this is again a Kaizen, we can say. We are reusing it. And third is called as recycle. We are recycling. For example, we are using the recycled water. So we are recycling the water. So we are not wasting the water. So this concept will help the environment. It will protect our Mother Earth. So reduce, reuse, and recycle. So always motivate your team members to identify kaizens related to 3R. When I was working in one of the company, then I discussed with union members and we took a project that we will reduce consumption of water. So there were water taps in our canteen and people were wasting lots of water in that water tap. So we put the orifice in that tap and we reduced the flow from 12 liter per minute to 4 liter per minute. So we have reduced the consumption of water. So earlier per minute 12-liter water we were using and we put an orifice inside that tap and now we are using 4 liter per minute. So that is the reduce. So we could able to save near about 2 lakhs liters of water per month. So that was the huge consumption. So I am not counting the money benefits, but it is we are reducing the consumption of water. We are helping our mother earth, right? So henceforth, after 3D, or you can always discuss with your team, can they identify Kaizens related to reduce, reuse, recycle? I visited Ujjain. Actually, there was one shop outside the temple, and actually I purchased the agarbatti, and they told me that they are making the agarbattis from the flowers. Earlier, that flowers they were throwing out, but now they are using this as a raw material, and they are mixing it in the raw material for making agarbattis. So these are the kaizens related to 3R. Either they are recycling, reusing, reducing, like that. So is it clear? 3R: reduce, reuse, and recycle. You can identify the kaizens related to 3R: reduce, reuse, recycle. So I will also tell you that 5R concept. What is that 5R concept? So in 5R, before a reduce, there is a one R that is called as a reject. Means I am rejecting that I will not use plastic bag at all. I am rejecting. I am saying no, I will not use plastic bags. I am rejecting that. I will not use. I will not reduce. I will not use. I am rejecting. No, I will not use. Reject. So that is called as first R. It is always good. Elimination. So I am not reducing. I am rejecting, like that. Then reduce, reuse, recycle, and fifth R is repair. Remember those days when we were repairing our atoms? We were not purchasing new atoms. For example, we were changing the refills in our pen. But nowadays we forgot this. We are just buying a new pen, and we are again creating lots of, I can say, the adverse impact on environment. So 3R or 5R is the best. Reject is the best. Reject. If reject is not possible, reduce. Then you can go for the reuse. Then you can recycle, and then go for the repair. So I am repairing my bags. For example, there are cloths. I am actually repairing and again using it. So this is called as a repair. So is it clear? 3R or 5R? Reject, reduce, reuse, recycle, repair. Okay. So we have seen the two concepts. One is 3D and one is 3R or 5R, right? So can I proceed to the next concept? Thank you. Now, the next concept is, this is called as ASTEM principle. Can anybody tell me what is that ASTEM? So we should use this approach for identifying agents. ASTEM. Can anybody tell me what is that ASTEM? So this sequence we should follow. Yesterday we saw EBFC, easier, better, faster, cheaper. I am also giving you a hint that you can use this sequence as well. So this sequence is also good sequence. That sequence is called as ASTEM. What is that? ASTEM. So ASTM stands for attitude, safety, time, energy, and money. So I will tell you that we should always develop our attitude first. We need to develop, or we need to change the attitude of our people. So a simple example that of Kaizen is changing the attitude. For example, earlier my son was taking a glass of water, for example, and he was drinking half glass of and he was throwing half glass of water. He is not doing the same. He is using water very precisely, but I'm just giving an example. So I am taking full glass of water. I am drinking half glass of water and I'm throwing out of half glass of water. Now, if I change my attitude and I am taking only a half glass of water and I am drinking that whole water, so what does it mean? I have saved half glass of water. So my attitude is changed. Earlier, I was wasting the water. Now I am using as per my requirement only. I am taking only half glass of water. I am drinking it. So that is called as developing the attitude. So we need to develop that attitude that it is a waste. So uh, taking one glass of water and throwing half glass of water. So normally when I conduct trainings in big hotels, so I saw that people are throwing the wastes, food waste. They were wasting a lot of food. They were wasting a lot of water. They are taking the Bisleri bottles, only drinking some water, and again they are throwing that bottles. So we need to change that attitude. So we should develop attitude. So first is that our mindset change. I am giving you examples. There are lots of examples for the attitude change. Firstly, you need to work on the attitude. So as I told, I discussed with union members. I told them that water is very precious and you are the wasting the water. People are using lots of water and hence we are actually initiating that we will put ORPs in that water. And people were also agreed because I came from a village where there is a scarcity of water and normally we were struggling a lot to get the water. So I show them the examples of South Africa where they are struggling with the water, how the people from the villages area are struggling to get the water. So I changed their attitude. Earlier they were saying no, we need water, but now after showing some videos how we are wasting water, their attitude is changed and they were ready to cooperate. So firstly, you need to change the attitude of your people, your blue collar people, your operators. Why Kaizen is required? So normally when I conduct this program for the operators, I always give the example of that big companies yesterday I give. So why that change is important? Otherwise, it will be very difficult to stay in the competition. The companies having 70%, 90% market share are also out of the competition because they haven't learned or they haven't improved their products. So normally when I give these examples to the operators, it helps to change their attitude. Yes, and I also tell them if our company is not making profit, because the one of the aim or one of the important purpose of company is to make more money. If our company is not making money, then our jobs are on stake. Because if company is not profitable, then our jobs are also on stake. And hence, we should go for the kaizens. That is the need of an hour. We need to be competitive. So you should always try to change the attitude of your blue collars, your bottom line people. So that is called as attitude. First, work on that. After attitude, as I told, safety should be our topmost priority. So now you can tell your operators or your engineers that now focus on safety. So please identify kaizens related to safety because you are precious to us. You are the asset of our organization and hence your safety is very, very important. Because for the world you are someone, but for someone you are the world. So hence safety is important. So we can tell them that please identify kaizens related to safety. So S stands for safety. Now T, as I told you, we need to improve our efficiency. So we can discuss, we can brainstorm that can we reduce the cycle time at least by 1 second, 2 seconds like that? Can we reduce the time reduction? Can we reduce the cycle time? Because it will improve our productivity, it will improve our output. So can we identify kaizens on that? So we go to the Gemba, we check where is there a possibility. We normally brainstorm and find out the opportunities to reduce the cycle time at least by 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, like that. So that is called as T. So attitude, safety, and time reduction. Correct? Then E stands for energy, reducing the consumption of compressed air, electricity units. So can we identify the guidance related to that? In my previous organization earlier, we was using that uh, pneumatic jaws for declamping of the jobs. So that pneumatic jobs were using the compressed air. So instead of that compressed air pneumatic jobs, we actually use the mechanical arrangements, and we reduce the use of compressed air. So compressed air is a very costly resource in any organization. On near about 32 machines, we changed that mechanism, that pneumatic uh, job unloader to the mechanical job unloader. So that was the very good Kaizen to reduce the consumption of compressed air. Electricity units, for example, when you keep your ACs on 26 degrees Celsius, it saves a lot of electricity. So you can implement that Kaizen in your organization. So AC temperature, there should be a lock, and one should not able to reduce that temperature below 26 degrees Celsius. So this is called as the Kaizen related to saving the energy. And lastly, it is called as saving money. So cost reduction Kaizen. So are you clear about this principle ASTEM? Okay. Yes, very useful. Thank you. So either you can use 3-day approach, 3R approach, EBFC, ASTM. I am giving you lots of inputs. So please act whatever suits you, that EBFC, ASTM, like that. So this is the one of the approach to implement Kaizens. Okay. So we will proceed. So 1 minute, I will. Now we will see the 3G approach. So I am not saying that 3G approach we can use for the guidance or that, but for example, if you are solving any problem, then you can use this approach, 3G approach. These are the three words starting with G. These are the Japanese words. Gemba. I will use the pointer. So first G stands for Gemba. You can pronounce it as a Gemba. You can write GENBA or GEMBA. Both are correct. So some people are saying that GENBA is correct. Some people are saying that GEMBA is correct. But pronunciation is Gemba. That is sure. So you can say GENBA or GMBA. So first is Gemba. Second called as Gembetsu. And third G is called as Genjitsu. So I will explain you this approach. This is a very, very powerful approach the Japanese people are using. So normally, Japanese company always, particularly Toyota, they are always saying that Genchi Genbetsu. They are always saying that Genchi Gembetsu. Literally meaning of Genchi Gembetsu is go and see. Now we are discussing a scenario where we are actually suffering from a problem. Okay, so what to do? So if you are suffering from a problem, then firstly you should use this 3G approach. So first G stands for Gemba, and the meaning is real place, or you can say the shop floor, real workplace, real scene. Means you need to go to the place where that problem is happened. For example, if I am observing that there is a one crack to a component and one of the suppose I am a quality head or production head, and my supervisor or quality engineer came to me and he told me that, so we are finding a crack in that particular parts and that rejection is increasing. Okay, now what should be our approach? Our approach should be firstly we need to go to the Gemba, particularly where that problem is happening, where we are producing our job. So instead of sitting in conference, you should directly go to the Gemba. That is called as first G. Japanese people are saying that first go to the Gemba where you are producing the parts where the problem is happened. So that is called as first G Gemba. Second G is called as Gembetsu. The meaning of Gembetsu is a real object or physical object. What does it mean? For example, I am producing a water bottle and I am observing the crack on the water bottle. So I will go to the Gemba on that particular machine where that rejection is happening, and I will take that part in my hand. That is called as physical object, real object. I will take that part in my hand and I will observe that part where crack is happening exactly near to the cap, near to the lid, or at the bottom line. So by taking that jobs, that rejected job in our hand, I will observe how big is the crack, where is the location of the crack. So I will observe by my own eyes that physical objects. Or if there is a problem to particular machine, and if my maintenance engineer is telling to maintenance head that there is a problem to machine, then we should go to the Gemba. That is clear. Gemba. Gembetsu in this case can be the machine, the real, the physical object. We cannot take that machine in our hand, but we can examine the machine. So where the problem is. Suppose there are abnormal sounds is coming, we can examine the machine. If there are lots of jerks or vibration, we can examine that vibrations like that. So that is called as Gembetsu. So go to the Gemba, observe the Gembetsu or check the Gembetsu, I can say. Check the physical object, examine the machine, and write down what you are seeing that. For example, if you can say that out of 4 volts, 3 volts are there is 1 volt is missing. That there is shoot the job is coming on shoot from very height. So the that because of that height job can be damaged. So height is more. So what you seen, that is called as Gembetsu from your own eyes, physical objects. Examine the machine, examine the parts. And third G is called as Genjitsu. Genjitsu is nothing but reality or real facts. So instead of using your ears, use your eyes. Go to the Gemba and observe the reality with your eyes. Aankhon dekha hal. Check the facts. Instead of focusing on opinions, somebody is saying me that, somebody is saying me that. So go to the Gemba, check the Gembetsu and observe the Genjitsu. Means when machine is in running condition, please check the facts. For example, if anybody is telling us that sir, metal temperature is not an issue, so he is telling his opinion. So sir, there is some pokayoke. I know that it will not increase. But when I go to the Gemba and I found that pokayoke is not working, earlier pokayoke is there, but it is not working, and I observe that metal temperature is increased. So I observed the reality. I observed the real facts. So that is the 3G approach. Go to the Gemba where problem is happened. Check the Gembetsu, that is the real or physical object, that part or that machine, and collect the facts. Observe the facts with your own eyes. That is very, very important. Not any opinion. Check the facts with your own eyes. So Taichi Uno, we will discuss about this gentleman tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. The Taichi Uno is known as the father of Toyota production system, and his famous quote is management begins at the workplace. And he was a Gemba man, always on Gemba, always on shop floor. And his famous quote is management begins at the workplace, not opinions from office. Observe what is actually happening on Gemba. Collect actual data. So this approach is called as 3G approach. So is this clear? 3G. And believe me, this will help you a lot because you are collecting the facts and it will help to solve the problem because it is the shop floor is speaking with us. It is not a AC conference, right? So 3G approach is very, very powerful. Gemba, Gembetsu, Genjutsu. So, Gembetsu and Genjutsu, I again repeat, Gemba is clear, na? Gemba means the real workplace where problem is happening. That is called as Gemba. For example, I am sitting in a conference room and if my junior came to me and he told me that, sir, we are observing a high rejection, particularly we are producing the water bottles and crack is actually coming. Lots of rejection is because of crack. So firstly, I will go to the Gemba means I will go to the shop floor. Suppose I have the molding machines. So I will go to the shop, molding shop. That is Gemba. Now what is Gembetsu? The physical object means I will take that water bottle in my hand. So my engineer is saying that we are observing the cracks. So I will check the cracks on that particular part with my own eyes. So okay, here is the crack. How big is it? So where is the location? So that is called as gambits. You should examine the part. You should examine the machine. If the machine is the problem, you should examine the machine. So this is called as gambits. And genjutsu means real facts. Real facts means, for example, I observe the crack. And there are lots of reason for crack. So for example, one of the reason is the die temperature is high. And another temperature is the, for example, metal temperature or plastic temperature is high. So some people are saying that, sir, die temperature is also is a problem. Plastic temperature high, it is also problem. But here I will observe with my own eyes whether it is the high temperature of a die or it is the high temperature of plastic, not opinion. So both is the can be the probability. But when I check the fact and I came to know that yes, that temperature is really high, but that temperature of molten metal or that plastic is within range. So I can say that uh, I will focus on higher die temperature because I have observed this fact with my own eyes. That is the fact. Clear? So Gembetsu is related to object and Genjitsu is related to facts. Whatever facts you observe. For example, you have observed that metal temperature is high, water line is choke up. You observe that Pokaik is not working. So Gembetsu is on parts. That part product. But Genjitsu is okay. That Pokaik is not working. It is a checkpoint. So Genjitsu is a real fact. Okay. Is this clear? And why I'm emphasizing a lot on this 3G approach, because I will recommend you to use this approach in your shop floor and see the change. Really go to the Gemba, check the Gembetsu and observe the Genjitsu. You will find, yes, there are lots of improvements, or the reality. At least you have the satisfaction that you have captured the reality and not opinions. No bias. Yeah, I am just going to the game and you can speak with confidently. Yes, I have observed with my own eyes. My junior was saying me, uh, I am not observing with my own eyes. I am just listening to other people. No, it will not give a confidence. But if you go to the Gemba, if you check the Gembetsu, if you observe the facts, then you will be confident. Correct? So can we proceed to the next concept? So 3D, 3R, ASTEM, and 3G. Is it clear? Okay. So we will see the 10 principles of Kaizen. As I told you that Kaizen is a change for better, and you should always try to implement the Kaizens against 3D by using the 3R principle, ASTM principle like that, or EBFC rule, easier, better, faster, cheaper. So I have given you the triggers or how to identify Kaizens, what are the approaches to identify Kaizens, what are the approaches to solve the problem. But there are 10 principles of Kaizen. So we will see those 10 principles now. First principle of Kaizen is throw out your old ideas and please keep an open mind to change. If you want to inculcate the culture of Kaizen, you should always keep an open mind to change. Otherwise, we are doing this since long years, and if you are not ready to change, at least try, na? At least try. So that is the first principle. You should keep an open mind. So this is the first principle of Kaizen. Second principle is think how the new method will work. So if I'm using this concept, Kaizen, how it will work? What should I do so that Kaizen should work? I should not think how the Kaizen should fail. So I will at least try. So don't give up. At least try it. Try to prove that. And always think in that direction. How I can implement that change. Third principle is don't accept excuses. Just do it. So normally we have there is a one term called as analysis paralysis. So we are doing lots of analysis. I am not against that. But if there are lots of analysis, but there is no action, then there is no use. So you should go to the Gemba and just implement action. That is called a just do it. Fourth principle of Kaizen, don't seek perfection. So if you are thinking that 50%, it will work only 50%. So as I told, Kaizen is a continuous improvement. So remaining 50% we can improve later on. But right now, if your problem is half solved because there is a 50% improvement, then go for that. Okay, so that is called as don't seek perfection for the always if you have 50% improvement or the probability, apply that. Principle number 5 is correct mistake as soon as they found. Don't waste time because if mistakes are there, for example, it a mistake is happened, ideally you should capture it as early as possible, or otherwise it will be a big loss to our organization. For example, if I found the crack, suppose at molding, so this is my the first operation, and I observe the crack. And if we correct the mistakes as soon as they found, if we solve the problems as soon as they found, then it will be a very, uh, the loss will be not big. Now imagine that part goes to the pre-dispatch inspection stage. Now it is almost ready for the dispatch and we are sending to the customer. And at that point, PDI stage or somebody saying that firewall, if we actually observing that defect, so it is costing almost 10 times because lots of resources are added. The salaries of operator, compressed air, consumable cost, machine hour rate. So these are added and we are capturing that defect at the PDI stage. But if we skip and that defect is captured by the customer, then it will be a very big loss. Suppose earlier it was a 1 rupee loss, at PDI it will be 10, but at customer end it will be 100 because multiplied by 10 it will increases as the distance increases. So correct mistakes, correct defects as soon as they found. These are the first five principles. Principle number 6, I like the most because what does it speak? Don't spend a lot of money on improvement. So in bracket, I have written creativity before capital. Creativity before capital. So always try to use creativity. You can ask for the money. I am not saying that, but very minimal money or no money. But prior to capital investment, prior to capex, please think about the creativity, right? So always think in creative way. What we can do. Principle number 7, problems give you a chance to use your brain. Don't take problems negatively. I normally say having problem is not a problem at all. Having problem is not a problem at all. But if you are not solving the problem, that is the problem. And we discussed that Taichi Uno quote, the management begins at the workplace. And his one more quote is, if you don't have a problem, if you don't have a problem, then it is a problem. Because आपको अगर problem नहीं है, then it will be a problem. So we need to develop our eyes to see the problems. And we should use the Kaizens or problem solving tools to resolve the problem. So normally I say celebrate your problems. Don't hide your problems. Normally when we go to the doctor for the health issue, we do not hide anything, right? We'll tell. So similarly, we should not hide our problems. We should tell it upfront. So these are the problems we are suffering from and I need your help to solve this problem. So celebrate your problems because it will give a chance to your brain. So yes, our brain can think in a different way. Then principle number 8 is related to why analysis. We are not going to cover that in this Kaizen session, but ask why. So that is called as why analysis. Principle number 9, it is 10 people's ideas are better than one person's idea. It is the effort, collective effort of team. So 10 people ideas are better than one person's idea. So always involve more and more people. That is principle number 9. And principle number 10, always remember that improvement knows no limits. There is no limits for the improvement. Biggest room is the room for improvement. So before implementing Kaizens, I have told you the approaches. Before implementing Kaizens, always remember these 10 principles of Kaizens. I will once again read it for you very fastly. So principle number 1, throw out your old ideas and keep an open mind to change. Principle number 2, think how the new method will work. Principle number 3, don't accept excuses, just do it. Principle number 4, don't seek the perfection. If you are seeing that 50% improvement is acceptable, done immediately. Please do it immediately. Principle number 5, correct mistakes as soon as they found. Principle number 6, don't spend a lot of money on improvement. Creativity before capital. Principle number 7, problems give you a chance to use your brain. Principle number 8, ask why analysis. Principle number 9, 10 people's ideas are better than one person's idea. And principle number 10, biggest room is the room for improvement. Improvement knows no limits. So these are the principles of Kaizen. Are you clear? Are you clear? Please type yes. Okay, thank you. So before proceeding, I will what is the difference between, okay, I will explain this, Venkatesh. So I will draw a graph tomorrow and I will explain the difference between continuous improvement and a continual improvement. Can anybody tell, Venkatesh, what is the difference between continuous improvement and continual improvement? I need to draw a sketch and I don't have the smart pen now, but okay. Point number 9. So 10 people's ideas means you need to involve more and more people, Ankur. For example, I may be at one particular point and you are good at different particular point. Then we should use the collective brains. That is the principle number 9. Principle number 6 is don't spend a lot of money means creativity. For example, I will give you one example. So when the Russian astronauts and the American astronauts observed one problem in space, so they were not able to write anything. They were not able to make notes because pen is not working in the zero gravity. So I heard that story that US people in US invested a lot of money and they developed a pen which which we can write or we can use in zero gravity as well. So astronauts can use that pen in spaceship or spacecraft. So that is good. They invested a lot of money. But the same problem Russia, so they decided to use the pencil, that pencil. Yes, instead of putting a lot of money on developing a pen, a simple pencil like Natraj pencil we are using, Apsara pencil you are using, Risha used that pencil. So that is called as creativity paper capital. So one more example is that there is a one soap factory and there was a problem that soap is missing and their box is empty. Yes, Venkat, I agree with you. Now, because it is a safety issue, yes, I do agree. So second example is the soap factory. For example, in soap factory, that soap is missing, so box is empty, and for example, we use the sensors to catch that there is no soap. So X-ray, I don't know, whatever technology. So they use the fan, yes, simple fan. That now that fan is blowing away. That fan is blowing away. Yes, I can. I do agree with Venkatesh and Rathe. Got it. Got it. So that empty box, the fan blow away that empty boxes. So that is called as the creativity before capital. So always think when we are having fewer resources, we always use the creativity. So please remember our days. If we don't have the money, a lot of money, then we will be at that time we were creative. We are using the different. We were thinking differently. But now there are lots of money. For a lot of money is there. I can buy everything by money. So I'm not thinking in that creative way. So I have lost my creativity. So firstly, you should focus always on creativity. I'm not saying that you should not invest, but before investing, think about it. Okay? No, there is no linkage as such. So these are some principles. There is no linkage. Normally, when implementing Kaizen, so for example, these are the bullets. Just do it. Keep an open mind to change. Creativity for capital. Celebrate your problems. Biggest room is the room for improvement. I have particularly highlighted with the bold. So always keep in mind that Kaizen means not adding resources. How we can do it without any investment or with very minimal investment. So there is no linkage as such, but please remember these principles of Kaizens. When you implementing Kaizens, these are the principles. And one more thing I have not written here, but always give a respect for the people. Always give respect to the people, particularly operator, the bottom line people. So is there how we are motivating the people? Can anyone tell me what are the different ways to motivate the people? Okay, respect. Yes. So appreciation, recognition, rewards. That is very, very important. So we should always take care of the self-esteem of people. Always remember, reward and recognition will definitely help. And it is not in the form of money. If you, for example, if you call one person, as I told you yesterday, that casual person give one idea and we were able to save 28 lakhs rupees. So I called that person in our war room and I told my plant head that because of this person we got this idea. And this just pat on back. We just pat on back award. Some tiffin box we gifted to him. So tea with our plant head. So these are the some very small. So every time it is not money. If you are actually pat on back is very important. That is very important. So reward and recognition. You should recognize their efforts. That is very, very important. So is it clear? Oh, if it is clear, we will move to the next concept. Okay. Now we will see one quote from this gentleman. I told you the name of this gentleman is Taichi Uno. And in Kaizen, there is a importance of standard. I will tell you what that importance of standard is. But his famous quote is, where there is no standard, there can be no Kaizen. Where there is no standard, there can be no Kaizen. What does it mean? What does it mean? So we have to have standard before implementing Kaizen. So what does it mean? We have to have standard before implementing Kaizen. So I will tell some difference between Kaizen and problem solving, and I will tell you what is standard. So can anybody tell me what is the difference between Kaizen and problem solving? What is Kaizen? We learn Kaizen is change for better improvement. But what is problem solving and what is the exact difference between Kaizen and problem solving? I will see the responses. Kaizen is improvement in what is problem solving. Okay, guys, you are on right track, but see the diagram here. So I made this diagram. What is standard? Suppose we are working on that machine and the output of machine is 300 pieces per hour. So there is a IE department, industrial engineering department, and they conducted the time study, and they have decided that we should produce 300 pieces per hour on this machine. So this is the standard output per hour. Okay. But when I observe that I am not getting 300 pieces per hour, sometimes I am getting 290, 280, 270, 260, 270 like that. So I am not able to achieve this output. This output is achieved in the past, but I don't know why I am not able to achieve this standard right now. There is gap. So I need to identify why we are not able to achieve this output, even though we achieved this output in the past. So we will do the gap analysis, and suppose if we achieve the standard by reducing the gap, then it is called as problem solving. In short, back to standard, that is problem solving. Our standard was 300 pieces per hour, but nowadays we are not reaching that output. We achieved this in the past. We have done some problem solving, why that gap is there, 3G approach, other tools we used, and we achieved the standard of 300 pieces per hour once again. Then it is called as problem solving. Back to the standard, that is problem solving. Is it clear? Problem solving means back to the standard. Standard was 300 pieces per hour. We were not hitting that target, but in the past we achieved it, we proved it. But because of XYZ issues, there is a gap right now. And we found out these gaps. And now once again, we are achieving 300 pieces per hour. That is called as problem solving. Back to the standard. I will give one example, personal example. For example, suppose I am running 2 kilometers non-stop. For example, I am running 2 kilometers non-stop 6 months back or 5 months back, and I achieved that. But now I am not achieving that. I achieved it 3 months back. 2 kilometers I am running without stoppage. So continuously 2 kilometer I am running. I was running, but I am not able to run that 2 kilometer continuously. There is a gap right now. I am able to run only 1.5 kilometers, 1 kilometer like that. And I've done what happened wrong. And if I removed that and I am again back to the standard, now I can run 2 kilometer per hour without stopping. Again, I am coming back to the standard, means I have resolved the problem and which was causing. So I have resolved that problem. That is called as problem solving. Now, what is Kaizen? This is Kaizen. Now we have achieved 300 pieces per hour, and if we increase the output from 300 through to 320, that time reduction, we have done the cycle time reduction, and hence we are achieving the output is 320 pieces per hour. Earlier it was 300 pieces per hour. When I'm improving my target, when I'm improving my standard and I'm setting a new standard, then it is called as Kaizen. So in short, back to standard is called as problem solving, and improving the standard is called as Kaizen. Is it clear? back to the standard is called as problem solving. I am reducing that gap and I am improving the standard. Now I am, as I told, I was able to run 2 kilometers non-stop. Now I am not able to run, so I have resolved the problems and I am able to run 2 kilometers non-stop. But I reduced my weight, I improved my stamina, I improved my fitness. I joined gym and now I am able to run 5 kilometers without stopping. So means I am improved my standard. So improving the standard is called as Kaizen and back to the standard is called as problem solving. Is it clear? So once again, Srinivasan, I will explain. If anybody asks you what is the difference between Kaizen and problem solving, you should always tell problem solving is nothing else but back to the standard. Once again, I will give the same example. For example, Srinivasan, uh, you have one machine in your organization and the standard output decided by the industrial engineering department is 300 pieces per hour. And we achieved this in the past. But what happened, don't know in this 2 or 3 months. So we are not achieving that 300 pieces per hour, even though there is no breakdown. So there is a low speed of the machine. I don't know there what are conditions. So I'm not achieving that, even though there is no breakdown. Something has happened. Speed is reduced or something has happened. So if I am solving that problem and I'm again coming back to the standard. Yes. Dhaneshwar, actually it should not be called as a Kaizen. That is the next definition I was going to tell you. If you would like to call it as a Kaizen, then you should say it is a restorative Kaizen. But to be honest, we should not call it as a Kaizen. But normally in different competition, people are saying as restoration Kaizen. Means you have restored the basic condition. But you should not call it as a only Kaizen. You should mention one word prior to that, restoration Kaizen or restorative Kaizen. Okay? And if I'm improving the standard, it is called as Kaizen. Apart from the terminology, while practicing, is there any difference or what we'll do to achieve the standard or robust? So as I told now, for example, cycle time reduction. You also, by using 3D approach, you identify that there is a wastage. So we can reduce 1 second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds. If my cycle time is 30 seconds and I am able to reduce it to 28 seconds, so 28 seconds I have reduced. So my output will increase. So that is called as I have developed the new standard. That is called as Kaizen. So we will see tomorrow these 6 tips of Kaizens. So today we learned a lot of concepts. We will just discuss about, we will take a recap and then we will discuss 6 steps Kaizens tomorrow. But we started with the recap of day one. Then we saw how to identify the Kaizens, what are the different approaches for the Kaizens. So we started with 3D. So I will go back because these are the important concept because you can able to identify lots of Kaizen. So first concept we learn 3D abnormalities. Go to your area and identify difficult, danger and dirty abnormalities in your area. Difficult to and make it easy. Danger, remove that hazard and dirty, eliminate the contamination. That is called as 3D abnormalities. So we'll learn these 3D abnormalities. Then we discussed about the 3R, reduce, reuse or recycle, or 5R I can say reject, reduce, reuse, recycle, repair. So this will help you to protect our environment, our mother nature, because nowadays it is necessary because we have the finite resources and most of the time in corporates we are wasting the resources. Then we learned that ASTEM principle, attitude, we should first develop our attitude. Then we should focus on the safety kaizens. Then should work on the time reduction, where we can improve our standard, we can improve our target. Then we should focus on the energy saving, reducing consumption of compressed air, electricity, like that, and then saving money. Then we saw 3J approach, Gemba, Gembetsu, and Genjitsu. When there is any problem occurred, go to the Gemba, go to the shop floor, check the Gembetsu, that physical object, take that part in your hand, observe where is the location, how big is the crack. So particularly observing machine, observing the objects, observing the parts, that is called as Gembetsu. Physical object, real things, that is called as Gembetsu. And also we need to collect, or we need to, for example, if I observe that there are four legs or there are four bolts, one bolt is missing, I am just checking. So what is missing there? And Genjutsu is fact. Facts means related to that process. Metal temperature is high or low. Somebody is saying that metal temperature high is the problem, but I am checking with my own eyes and I came to know that yes, really it is a problem. Somebody is saying me that die temperature is high, but I checked with my own eyes. I found that die temperature is not high. It is within the specification. Then I can say no, it is an opinion. It is not fact. Okay. So we will do some small exercise here. So in 3J approach, it is always said that you should take decisions based on facts and not on opinion. So what is the difference between opinion and fact? What is the difference between opinion and fact? And it is always said that Japanese people are saying that use facts, always observe the facts, and don't rely on opinions. So, what is the exact difference between opinion and fact? What is opinion? What is fact? Assumption is equal to opinions. That is absolutely correct. Facts are numbers, the data. Yes, correct. So, I will ask you a certain question. Now, please answer whether it is a fact or opinion. Okay. Suppose I am sitting in a room. A fact is based on data. Dr. Jayasri, yes. Opinion is based on assumption. That is clear. Very good. So you are clear on that. But I will quote some examples. Please let me know it is opinion or fact. New Delhi is the capital of India. Opinion or fact? Fact. Okay. This room is too hot. Because some people from, for example, or this room is too cold. So normally our shop floor people, if the temperature 18 degrees Celsius, they tell me that sir, room is too cold. But if there is a person from the USA or person from the Europe, he is saying that room is not too cold. Indian people are saying that room is too cold. They are saying that it is not too cold, it is normal. So this room is too cold, this room is too hot. These are the opinions. But if I say the temperature of this room is 26 degrees Celsius, it is fact because I am saying with the data. I am not saying this room is too hot. I am not saying this room is too cold. I am saying that temperature of this room is 26 degrees Celsius. Yes, opinions may change from person to person, place to place. nationality to nationality, right? Yes, we are speaking with the data, right? Now I will give you one other example. So I am from Maharashtra. So Mumbai is the capital of Maharashtra. So Mumbai is away from Indore. It is opinion or fact? Okay. Again, as I told, my sister stays near about 2 kilometers from my house in Pune. But my mother is saying she is far away, even though she is at only 2 kilometers. But my mother is saying that she is away. Again, it is an opinion. If I say Indore is 950 kilometers from Pune or Mumbai by road, by train, Indore is 950 kilometers from Mumbai or Pune. That is fact, right? Another example I will quote, a funny example. Madhuri Dixit is very beautiful. Fact or opinion? Yes. So you are clear. So what is the exact difference between fact and opinion? Opinion varies from person to person, but fact is the reality. Maybe if you add when she was young, okay? But we don't know exactly how she looks like. Huh? We should meet her and then we can decide. But fact is always a number. Speaking with data. Temperature of this room is 26 degrees Celsius. Pune is 950 kilometers away from Indore by train. Okay. So always emphasize on fact. Don't rely on opinions. As I told, always less use your ears. Please use your eyes. Please use your brain. It is called as power of observation and Gemba. Gemba is the best teacher. It is always said that Gemba never lies. Shop floor never lies. It will give you the reality. So Gemba is the best teacher. Go to the Gemba, check the Gembetsu and observe the facts. Please don't emphasize or don't use the opinions of other people. Please validate the facts with your own eyes. Clear? So, today we learn 3D approach. Today we learn 3R approach or 5R approach. Today we learned ASTM principle, attitude, safety, time reduction, energy and money. Today we learned the principles of Kaizen, 10 principles of Kaizen. Today we learned 3G approach, very powerful approach because it always tells us the facts. Go to the Gemba, check the Gembetsu, take that part you on a own hand and observe the data. Observe the facts. What is the temperature of die? What is the temperature of metal? Whether that Pokayuk is working or not. So some people are saying that, sir, it is not possible. We are deploying the persons of that skill level on that machine and hence that problem will never occur because that person have the skill. But when I go to the Gemba and I found that the person deployed is he is not having the skill to work on that machine. So that is fact. So Gemba, Gembetsu and Genjutsu. And then we learn the difference between problem solving and Kaizen. Always remember problem solving is back to the standard. So we achieved that standard in the past. It is the target is given by the IE department. But now in last 1 or month, what is happening? I don't know. But we are not able to achieve that targets. We have taken the projects, we have done the gap analysis, and we have reduced that gap. And again, we came back to the standard. We resolved issue. So resolving that issue is called as problem solving. To be honest, you should not call it as a Kaizen. But if you would like to call it as a Kaizen, please use the restorative Kaizen word. So restorative Kaizen means back to the standard. We have restoring the original condition. We are restoring the basic condition. And then Kaizen is nothing else but improving the standard. So 300 pieces per hour. And if I reduce the cycle time, and if my output is 310 pieces per hour because I have reduced the cycle time by implementing Kaizen, then I can say it is a Kaizen. Okay. So we have learned a lot of concepts today. I particularly spend a lot of time on these concepts because these concepts will help you in your professional life. You will able to find a lots of Kaizen in your area. You can train your operators. You can train your bottom line. Please explain these concepts to them and please see the result because I have observed that lots of Kaizen will be implemented by your people. Because most of the time people were telling me, sir, you are always asking us to do a Kaizen, but you are not giving a direction to us how to identify Kaizens. Then I told them, yes, go and use the speak to me approach, use the color coding approach, use the see through approach, use the 3D principle, use the 3R principle, use the ASTM principle, and always implement the Kaizen in EBFC way. Always focus on yourself first, your easiness first. Then people are giving lots of ideas. We should speak with them. We should explain them. Okay. So, is there any doubt? Please ask the question. We will stop here. Tomorrow we will see the 6 steps of Kaizen. And there is one video. What is our job? We will see that video. So, if any questions, please ask. And as I told you, I will give you the training material on the last day because right now, please focus on understanding the concepts. Last day, I will circulate the training material. Thank you, Sam. And my number is that you can message me. My number is there in the WhatsApp group. If you have any problem, if you have any suggestion, yes, video we will see. There are two videos we will see. Yes, Poker we will discuss. If time permits, definitely. Poker is a different topic, but we will discuss it if time permits. So thank you all once again. Thanks for your active participations. Thank for encouraging. I don't know. You can ask admin. Cost of quality is a different topic. Okay, we will discuss. You can SMS me. We will. Thank you. Management begins at workplace. What does it mean? You should focus on 3G. Instead of sitting in conferences, go to the Gemba because the real management is in Gemba. Our value addition happens in Gemba. We are making our products on Gemba. So it is said that avoid AC. Avoid AC means sitting in conference room. Avoid PC, using the laptops. Instead of using AC and PC, go to the Gemba and check the Gembetsu. Observe the facts. Yes, Kimang, the video will be removed in 24 hours. There is policy. Yes. But I am again telling you, if you understand the concept, now please focus while I am delivering the training and you will learn it. No need to go for the recording as well. I am trying to explain in simple words. I am trying to explain slowly because everyone can understand the concept. So thank you all. So I will wait for through 2 3 minutes and then I will end this meeting. And if you have any doubt, please send an SMS to me. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Manjula. Thank you, Venkat. Rajendra, thank you. Good night. I hope you understood the concepts. Hare Krishna, good night. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Udit. Where it should start, I told you. It should start with the easiness. Thank you. Thank you, Ratesh, Puneet. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. So if you learn the concept, then it will be good. Thank you, Avik. Yes, yes, definitely, Naresh. Kaizen always start with the easiness. You should always start, you should always make your job easy first. You should start from there. Make your job easy. Please find out the difficult abnormalities in your area and please implement Kaizens against that. That should be your starting point. Thank you, Srinivasan. We will discuss. Will tell you some people are saying that attitude as well, but easiness is related to your job. So always start with that easiness and always build your attitude. So I will stop the recording. I will stop share.